Why do humans want what they can't have? Imagine a child playing with a toy. The toy sits unnoticed on the floor for hours. Nobody touches it. Nobody wants it. Nobody even looks at it. Then another child picks it up, and suddenly, it's the most important toy in the world. Now the first child desperately wants it back. Not because the toy changed, not because it became better, but because somebody else has it. Strange, isn't it? And yet adults do the exact same thing. We want relationships we can't have, jobs we can't get, houses we can't afford, opportunities we missed, people who rejected us, things we never cared about until they became unavailable. It's one of the oldest and most powerful patterns in human behavior. The moment something becomes difficult to obtain, its value seems to increase. The moment something is taken away, we suddenly realize how much we wanted it. Why? Why do humans obsess over things they can't have? Why does the unavailable often seem more attractive than the available? And why can wanting something sometimes feel stronger than actually having it? The answer begins with a psychological illusion so powerful that it influences nearly every human life. Scarcity. Imagine two identical bottles of water. One is sitting on a supermarket shelf with hundreds of others. The second is the last bottle available in the middle of a desert. Same water, different value. The human brain instinctively treats scarce things as more important. For most of human history, this made perfect sense. Food could disappear, resources could disappear, opportunities could disappear. People who reacted quickly to scarcity often survived. People who ignored it often didn't. So over thousands of generations, the human brain evolved a simple rule. If something is hard to get, it might be valuable. And that rule still shapes our behavior today, even when it makes no logical sense. Think about limited edition products, sold-out events, exclusive memberships, waiting lists. The harder something becomes to obtain, the more desirable it often appears. Sometimes people want the scarcity more than the thing itself, but scarcity is only part of the story. Because humans don't just want objects, humans want possibilities. Imagine being told you can never visit a certain place. Suddenly you want to see it. Imagine being told you can't date a particular person. Suddenly they seem more attractive. Imagine being told you can't do something, and suddenly all you want to do is exactly that thing. Psychologists call this reactance. When people feel a freedom is being restricted, they become motivated to restore it. In simple terms, humans hate losing options, even options they never intended to use. That's why rejection can feel so powerful. Sometimes people become obsessed not because they truly wanted someone, but because they lost the ability to choose. The closed door becomes more interesting than the open one. And nowhere is this more visible than in relationships. Have you ever noticed how some people become interested only after someone starts pulling away? The attention disappears, the availability disappears, the certainty disappears, and suddenly attraction increases. Part of the reason is uncertainty. The human brain is fascinated by unfinished stories. Think about a movie that ends without revealing what happened. You keep thinking about it. Your mind keeps returning to it, searching for answers, searching for closure. Unavailable people create a similar effect. The brain dislikes unanswered questions, so it keeps replaying them. What if? What could have happened? What did they think? Could it still work? The uncertainty becomes addictive, not because uncertainty feels good, but because the brain desperately wants resolution. And this reveals something important. Sometimes what we want isn't the person, or the object, or the opportunity. Sometimes what we want is closure. We want the story to end. We want certainty. We want an answer. But life rarely provides perfect answers, and the brain struggles with that. Yet there is an even deeper reason humans want what they can't have. Identity. The things we desire often become connected to who we think we are. Imagine someone dreams of becoming a musician, or an athlete, or a successful entrepreneur. Now imagine that dream becomes impossible. The loss isn't just practical, it's personal, because the dream became part of their identity, part of their future, part of the story they told themselves about who they would become. Humans don't simply desire things. Humans desire versions of themselves. And when something becomes unattainable, sometimes what we're really mourning is the person we imagine becoming. That's why certain losses hurt so much. The object isn't the whole story. The meaning attached to it is. But here's where things become strange. Humans are often terrible at predicting what will make them happy. We spend years chasing things, convinced they'll transform our lives. Then we get them, and the excitement fades. Psychologists sometimes call this hedonic adaptation, the tendency for humans to quickly become accustomed to improvements in life. The dream job becomes normal. The new phone becomes ordinary. The exciting purchase becomes familiar. And once familiarity arrives, desire often moves somewhere else, toward the next goal, the next opportunity, the next unavailable thing. It's almost as if the chase itself becomes rewarding. Because wanting creates anticipation, and anticipation is powerful. In many cases, people enjoy looking forward to something more than actually possessing it. The fantasy remains perfect. Reality never does, which leads to a surprising possibility. Maybe humans don't always want what they can't have. Maybe humans want what they imagine they can't have. The fantasy, the possibility, the ideal version that exists only inside the mind. Because reality is complicated. Reality has flaws. Reality disappoints. Fantasy does not. Fantasy can remain perfect forever. And perhaps that's why the unavailable often seems so attractive, not because it's better, but because it remains untouched by reality. Yet there is a hidden cost to living this way. The more attention we give to what we don't have, the less attention we give to what we do. The more we focus on closed doors, the less we notice the doors already open. The more we chase distant possibilities, the less we appreciate present realities. And sometimes, the thing we wanted most wasn't actually what we needed. It was simply the thing we couldn't have. Which raises a strange question. How many desires are truly ours? And how many were created by scarcity, uncertainty, and imagination? Because the next time you find yourself obsessing over something unavailable, it might be worth asking, do I actually want this? Or do I just want what I can't have?